Well, mga kasangga, ating tunghayan ng sang panayam kay Vice Presidentialble candidate Lito Atienza. Muli ating sabay-sabay tunghayan ang buong detalye at kapag hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, subscribe na para tuloy-tuloy ang ating talakayan.
Your name wasn't really out there, sir. When we're having initial discussions about who might run in next year's elections, hindi mo talaga masyado naririnig yung Lito Atienza. But when the filing of the COC came, you were there and filed your candidacy for vice presidency. Can you tell us, sir? Can you walk us through how that happened?
Well, I did not plan it really, Neil. In fact, I had no intentions of running anymore. I had plans of retiring from politics. 50 years na ako 50 years in politics, in public office. So medyo nakapaglingkod na ako ng sapat. I feel. And maybe it's time to concentrate on my NGOs and my family and my grandchildren especially. So yun ang aking plano. Ang gusto ko sana tutulungan ko lamang si MANNY up to the filing. And then I will retire from political activities. Kinausap niya ako, kinumbinsi niya ako. Sabi niya, ikaw ang gusto kong vice president, congressman, because kilala kita . We have known each other for more than 2 decades. And I've seen you in public office and I admire your demeanor and you are also the same things that I'm after. A good, clean government that will provide the Filipinos a better life. So please, tulungan mo ako. How could I say no to that? Tama yung pinindot niyang buton, tama . You've been trying to help the poor. I know that. From mayorship, from the GNL, as congressman for 9 years. Ngayon, kailangan ko ang tulong mo. Help me. I believe that you are the only one who would really understand my intentions for our country and our people, and you will do your best to help me win. Hindi na ako nakatanggi. And
would you say, sir,
that I asked for a little more time to pray over it. Kasi sinabi niya sa akin, gabi, sabi ko, let me pray over it overnight, and tomorrow, let's have an early breakfast. And alternate the night, really, I was concentrating and praying to God. You guide me in this decision because this is a big leap rather than retiring. Lalaban pa ako ngayon as for Vice President. Kung sa tingin mo hindi makakaganda, send me any message and I'll be very, very happy to receive it from you, Lord. Ang message niya, simple. Pursue your vision, help Manny Pacquiao win the elections and also help him in the administration. So, hindi na ako nakatanggi. I agreed and that's the reason why I filed my certificate together with him.
Congressman Atienza, you've been vocal about kung hindi nyo iboboto si Manny, huwag nyo na lang ako iboto. You've mentioned that multiple times already in your media interviews.
Yes,
why is that so? And aren't you worried, sir, that would affect your chances of winning the vice presidential race?
I'll be very, very truthful to you. I'm only running because I want to help Manny.
Of course, Mayor, everyone want to run because he want money. Joke lang po.
I don't want to help anyone. I don't believe any other candidate today can match Manny's sincerity and intentions to help the poor.
Hindi po kaya sobrang bilib nyo naman, Mayor, ganyan kay Manny Pacquiao. Ano ba talagang nakain nyo?
Remove corruption, especially from government. That's the number one reason why we remain poor. Paikot-ikot na lang tayo, but corruption stays on. In fact, aggravating in every administration. And today, we see right before our very eyes. So kung iba mananalo, hindi ako interesado.
Ganun po ba talaga yun, Mayor? Sige nga, balikan nga po natin saglit. The late Madam Senadora Miriam Santiago.
Manila, the seat of government, the seat of glamour, bling, and unfortunately also the seat of the most atrocious corruption I've ever seen.
Narinig mo ba yun, Mayor? Ano ba talagang nakita mo kay Manny Pacquiao?
Si Manny, I'd like to help him accomplish his goal. Clean up the government, remove corruption, and provide the poor better opportunities in an effective government. Yun ang aking dahilan kaya ako tumatakbo, and I don't want to be a partner of any other presidentiable whom I know. I know all of them, Neil. Believe me. I know all of their backgrounds. I know their characters. And to me, I chose the best. Manny Pacquiao, to me, is the best among the lot.
The best po ba? What do you mean? The best leader?
World-class leaders have skills and knowledge which set them apart from others, even those who are considered as good leaders. This level of achievement is the result of hard work, experience, and learning. You are not born a leader. You have to make yourself one. And this
Sorry for the interruption. Sige po, Mayor. Tuloy ulit ang interview.
In a hypothetical scenario, sir, that Congressman Atienza becomes the Vice President of the Philippines, but it's not Senator Manny Pacquiao who wins the presidential race, what's going to happen there?
I may beg off my election because I'm really convinced I'll be wasting 6 more of the last stages of my life for nothing, because I don't think the others will do what Manny intends to do. So sayang naman yun. Aaksayahin ko pa ang panahon. Pag alis namin sa pwesto, mas mahirap pa ang bansa. I'll feel wasted. I may decline the election. Kaya sinasabi ko, kung iboboto niyo ako, boto niyo yung presidente ko. Kung hindi naman, kung iba ang presidente niyo, don't choose me. Choose the vice president of that president.
Hehehehe. Hindi kaya magang palsot yan, Mayor? Para pag natalo kayo, well, alam na this. Pero sabing hindi nila ako binoto kasi sinabi kong pag hindi nila iboboto si Manny Pacquiao, wag na rin nila akong iboboto. Nagtatanong lang po, Mayor.
Because hindi kami magiging magkabagay, and the country will suffer again on a divided administration.
Ganun po ba, Mayor? Sorry
Sir, frankly speaking, Senator Pacquiao and yourself, if strictly we're gonna look at the surveys, medyo wala tayo doon sa top spots in the survey, sir. What do you think, frankly speaking, sir, what's your chance of winning?
Neil, be real. Don't believe the surveys. Don't believe it. Believe me, today, people are spending big money on surveys. Depending on who's paying for the survey, siya malalabas sa panalo dyan. The survey that I'm believing, what I am seeing in the field. Lahat ng lugar na punta namin, lumalabas, tumatakbo ang mga tao, sinasalubong siya ng buong init na pagmamahal. May halong pasasalamat, may halong pagmamahal, at merong sigaw ng damdamin. Manny Pacquiao, ikaw ang aming Pangulo. I'm talking about the people who meet us everywhere we went. Pangasinan is supposed to be part of the solid north. Sabi nga ng mga taga-Pangasinan, akala namin, ano na ito give up na kami, yung mga Pacquiao doon. Pero nung naglabasan ng mga tao, hindi pala naman Marcos country ito. Pacquiao country pala ito.
Ganun po ba yun, Mayor? Oo naman, siyempre. Pag Manny Pacquiao, sigurado may 1,000 silang matatanggap.
That's an example. And I believe people will realize on election day a big surprise. Manny Pacquiao by a landslide.
What? Totoo po ba yun? Ang aga nyo naman mangarap. Well, magkakalaman na lang tayo pagkatapos ng eleksyon.
Manny Pacquiao by a landslide. So balikan ko lang yung comment na sinabi nyo kanina, sir. So you believe that the surveys that we have right now are, kumbaga, they are paid for?
I would not believe any survey done today.
Don't worry, Mayor. We also don't believe in you.
Now is the Christmas also because bonuses are spread around now. Now is a campaign, almost the campaign period, at least political season. So surveys are self-serving.
Self-serving. Mhm.
Self-serving. So I wouldn't give it any relevance at this point in time. I am not going to be daunted by it, nor even discouraged, simply because I see what's happening in the field and how people are opening their homes for Manny Pacquiao. I've been through many campaigns,
Mhm.
and I know when people are really expressing themselves for a certain candidate.
You, Congressman Lito, you've had many years of political experience with you. You've served as mayor of Manila.
To Metro Manila, the seat of government, the seat of glamour, bling, and unfortunately also the seat of the most atrocious corruption.
Tama po ba yun, Mayor? Sige na, tuloy ulit ang interview.
Manila congressman currently in the House of Representatives. You've had many years of experience campaigning physically, visiting homes, visiting constituents. And recently nga na-involve si Senator Manny Pacquiao sa, maybe I would call it controversy still. Especially he's been accused of vote buying by his critics because nga dun sa pamimigay niya ng 1,000 pesos during his campaign trails. What's your take on that, sir? Based on your experience
I don't see that as vote buying. Number one, we're not yet in the campaign period.
Mhm.
So there's no law that tells Neil, do not give away money to anyone in need.
Mhm.
Nobody tells me that. Marami akong tinutulungan hanggang ngayon. Vote buying ba yun? Hindi. Yan ginagawa ko na yan nung araw pa, gagawin ko yan hanggang pagdating ng campaign period. Pagdating ng campaign period, and you do that, that's vote buying. That's already against the law. Pero today, Manny Pacquiao is merely doing what he has started 15 years ago. The moment he earned big money, he always shared it with the people in need. Ngayon, yung mga pinupuntahan namin lugar where he gives away money, mga lugar na mahihirap talaga yun. Sa Cebu, we went to Pangamuha. It's a small fishing village where poverty is really felt.
Mhm.
Yung mga pinupuntahan niya lugar talagang nabibigay siya ng tulong na malugod sa puso niya. And sabi nga niya, huwag niyong masamain yan sa mga kalaban niya. May pera din kayo mayayaman kayo. Why don't you share your wealth? Me, I've been doing this. From the moment I earned wealth, I shared it to the people. You have been rich all this time. Why don't you share your money? He's addressing the very wealthy aspirants for the presidency. And tama naman. Ako, I also look at it as something that is part and parcel of Manny Pacquiao. So you cannot change him because he is already declared, he has filed his candidacy. But when the law takes effect, no more giving away of money to anyone, in other words, the campaign proper starts, he should follow the law. And I think that's exactly what he said. Pagdating ng panahon na hindi na ako pwede magbigay, titiisin ko yung aking tendency. Dahil talaga ang tendency ko kung nakakita ako ng pamilya na nakahiga sa sidewalk, gusto kong babaan, bigyan ng pera.
Ganun po ba yun, Mayor? Ano na ba yun, Sir Mike Abi? Ano na ba yun?
2002 pa lang daw, namimigay siya ng pera. Noon yun. Kandidato ka ngayon, presidente. Bawal mamigay. So hindi mo alam ang batas. Doon pa lang, sasablay ka na . Hindi mo ma-justify na matagal ka na namimigay ng pera at ngayon kaya mong gawin. Hindi pwede. Under ka ng COMELEC. Pag ikaw ay kandidato, under ka ng COMELEC kahit sino ka pa. Kahit presidente ka pa, kahit senador ka pa, kahit sino ka pa. Basta pumasok ka sa political exercise, COMELEC ang boss mo. Yan ang COMELEC ang magsasabi ng tama o mali ang ginagawa mo. Pag ikaw ay mali, i-disqualified ka niya kahit marami kang pera. Doon pa lang dapat alam mo na. Mukhang hindi alam ni Manny yun . Ang feeling niya ay sikat ako, mayaman ako ang masusunod sa gusto ko. Sus, merosip na buhay yan. Hindi pwede yun. Inuulit ko kahit sino kayo, pagka yung nag-file ng COC, Certificate of Candidacy, at during election, nasa ilalim kayo ng kapangyarihan ng COMELEC, sa ilalim ng kapangyarihan ng batas. Kung ayaw yung sumunod sa COMELEC, disqualified kayo. Yun. Hindi pwede ang yabangan, hindi pwede ang bayaran, hindi pwede ang pride kasi meron tayong batas na dapat sundin. Kung hindi nyo sinusunod yan, wala kayong karapatang maging Pangulo.
Pero pagdating ng kampanya, I cannot do that. I will control myself.
Oops, parang kumambyo Mayor.
I would like to quickly touch on the topic of substitution because we're nearing the November 15 deadline. There's still talks about whether a certain candidate will be substituted, will be replaced, and so on, will withdraw his or her certificate of candidacy. What's your take on substitution, sir? Do you think, because some people have said, lawmakers and even critics in the public have said na parang pambabastos na siya. So like the politics here in the Philippines. So what's your take on substitution?
It's an aberration of our democratic system. That is not normal. It is actually hoodwinking the people. It's already telling a lie at the very first step of filing your certificate. This should be corrected. And I am going to support any bill that would correct it. I understand my good friend Rufus Rodriguez
Congressman
already filed it. I will co-sponsor it, and we will defend it on the floor. And I would do my best to correct it. Hindi na dapat payagan yan. Nag-umpisa lang naman yan 2016 eh. Substitution has always been available for force majeure, like the candidate dying or unable to continue the campaign. Meron na talagang substitution provision ng batas. Pero itong substitution by intention and fooling the people, hoodwinking them to believe this while they do this, planned swindle to it. And I cannot agree with it. When you file your certificate, file it according to your intention. Hindi yung meron kang planong at a certain point, papalitan ako nitong kaibigan ko. That's really not fair, and it's going to destroy the credibility of our electoral process and affect our democracy. In the long run, it will be very bad for our elections.
A quick follow-up on that, Congressman Lito Atienza, is if titingnan mo kung sino, when we talk about substitution, usually ang context niyan is Davao City Mayor Inday Sara Duterte and even President Rodrigo Duterte, pinag-uusapan ngayon yung him substituting for a senatorial run. You are a leader in the House of Representatives. Congressman Rufus is also a House leader in Congress. And you're a part of the majority. So the assumption is you are with the administration. I mean, based on like you're part of the majority. So are you not worried about your push for banning and prohibiting substitution would affect your position?
I've always been independent-minded. And I feel I belong to the majority in Congress under Speaker Velasco. But I don't belong to the administration of President Duterte. So meron separation yan, as there are separation between legislative and executive. So doesn't bother me. And at least I know that Speaker Velasco respects my position on issues. I may be with the majority in Congress, but he respects my decision when I do not agree whatever they're pushing as a majority in Congress.
Now, sir, let's talk about this. Is may init na topic ngayon. Is there a disqualification case was filed against former Senator Bongbong Marcos? The petitioners are seeking to cancel his certificate of candidacy for presidency due to a tax evasion case more than 2 decades ago. So what's your take on this?
I believe that if indeed he committed a tax evasion, he didn't pay his taxes during those years, 4 years. He was even governor of Ilocos Norte. He should be disqualified.
Totoo ba yan, Mayor? O baka naman kasi talagang ang gusto mo, Manny Pacquiao for all costs.
I'm sorry to hear that the COMELEC at this early stage is already practically clearing him. Yan ang medyo distortion ng ating demokrasya. The Commission on Elections should not be opening its mouth at the very beginning of an issue that will affect the candidacy of anyone. And
Tanong ko lang, Mayor, bakit hindi nyo binabanggit ang Supreme Court decision regarding dyan sa tax evasion case ni Manny Pacquiao. Diba sinabi ng Supreme Court, no moral turpitude.
Ito nagsalita na yung COMELEC, malamang walang kaso. Why are you speaking out at the very premature stage of the case? Now, if you ask me anong feeling ko, kung siya naging tax evader, kung siya manloko pa ng tao, hindi siya dapat tumakbo. On his own, he should take that seriously. Now, legally, I believe that there is ground. I don't agree with the statement of the COMELEC on that matter. I believe there is ground for disqualification if it found out that he had to answer a case and he was proven guilty, hindi nga lang siya nakulong. Anong plano mo?
I believe,
hindi ka na magbabayad ng buwis.
I believe Congressman COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez has already clarified na parang when they made that remark, wala pang cases filed against Senator Bongbong Marcos. So with that said, sir, some would say naman his Senator Bongbong supporters would say na bakit ngayon lang nire-raise yan? I mean, if it was 2 decades ago, he also ran for a vice presidential seat in 2016. He was elected as a senator before. So bakit ngayon lang?
You should ask the man who opened up the case, and that's former Supreme Court Justice Pacquio. And I appreciate what he did. Kung meron kang alam na ganyan, dapat isiwalat mo. Don't get worried about what people may say. Let's worry about the nation.
Now, sticking with Senator Bongbong Marcos here for a bit. You've been vocal about the abuses in the martial law era. You shared your experiences. You were jailed during that time multiple times. Many people have already asked Senator Bongbong Marcos to apologize. But sinasabi ni Senator Bongbong is, why should I apologize for my father's sin? I mean, hindi naman daw siya yung nag-commit ng mga sin na yun. What exactly do we want to hear from Senator Bongbong Marcos?
An admission that indeed there were abuses during martial law. An admission that the economy suffered during that one-man rule. While the rest of Asia started prospering, the Philippines went down in the economic ladder. So admitin mo yan, and then palagay ko pwede na natin kalimutan. Dahil at least relax ako, hindi mo gagawin uli. Pero
di ba yung panahon na yan, yung Liberal Party kung saan membro kayo, nakisabwatan yan kay Joe Masison, pati ngayong Plaza Miranda bombing, kung saan pati kayo naging biktima. Ngunit si Ninoy, di ba, wala siya. Tapos ngayon, di ba, inamin nila Victor Corpus na si Joe Masison ang may pakananon.
Pero pag sinasabi mo, wala naman nangyari, maganda nangyari nung Marcelo. Bah, may planong ulitin pa ito. Masaya ka. Kaya ako sinasabing, if there is no admission, then there is not even remorse, then a repetition of the same is possible.
Ha? Ano yun, Mayor? Siguro, ang dapat mo nang kausapin dyan, pakinggan si Manong Enrile.
The history was totally distorted to favor one group. Little by little, the truth will come out.
Well,
Challenge anybody here in this country to debate with me about the events.
Well, Mayor, narinig mo yun. Siguro nga, pagdating sa mga katotohanan dyan, sa martial law, si Manong Juan Ponce Enrile ang kailangan kadibati mo dyan. Well, mga kasangga, ano sa palagay nyo? Alam na this, baka naman pwede nang mag-like, mag-share, at mag-comment. Diyos Yagdina, Apo. Hanggang sa huli.